You don't think that there's anything fishy going on here? And I know all these things firsthand because I served on the Gaza border. And there's many people that say, oh, well, this was just a breach. No, that's not a breach. I'm sorry, that's not a breach. That's an inside job. So we're all trying to make sense of what happened on October 7th, which is Shmini Atzeret. So what I want to do is reverse engineer this thing a little bit to kind of help you understand why I believe that this was an inside job. September 1st, the Israeli government confiscated the weapons of the security teams in the Gaza Belt communities. Why that happened, nobody knows. Fast forward to September 10th. On September 10th, the Moatzah, which is basically the municipalities of the Gaza Belt communities, received reports of increased tensions on the border of Gaza during the Jewish holidays. Those same heads of municipalities asked the army if they should cancel their festivities in light of the warnings of increased tensions on the border of Gaza. And what did the army say? They said, no, don't cancel anything. It appears as though we're heading into a state of calm. Now, you can assume that the Shabak did not know about this attack, but that's highly improbable. I mean, Israel is probably the most advanced surveillance state in the world, and the Gaza border is probably the most heavily surveilled. The fence was breached in 15 different locations, and you want to tell me that the most highly advanced surveillance equipment on arguably any border in the world didn't pick that up, didn't report it? Well, they did, and it's documented. So don't believe that lie. Now, once thousands of Gazans on pickup trucks and hang gliders invaded Israel, which apparently nobody knew about, right? Okay, you believe that? Which apparently no one knew about. They had 7 hours to kill everyone in their path, completely destroy kibbutzim. Not only that, take hostages back to Gaza, unscathed, unopposed. Do you know how long it takes an attack helicopter to get activated and blow up any one of those tractors or pickup trucks or hang gliders that invaded Israel? Less than 5 minutes. And I know all these things firsthand because I served on the Gaza border. Less than 5 minutes. It all could have been over. It could have been a 5 minute, it could have been a matter of 5 minutes before the whole thing was upended. And instead they had 7 hours, possibly 8, to conquer kibbutzim, kill thousands, and bring back hostages alive, unopposed. And there's many people that say, oh, well, this was just a breach. No, that's not a breach. I'm sorry, that's not a breach. That's an inside job. Like I said, this is not a video I wanted to do. This is not something, and oh, by the way, now America is coming with aid. Do you really think Israel needs American aid to fight Gaza? Gaza. Their most elite force, their air force is hang gliders, and their ground troops are pickup trucks. They don't even have a tank. And we need American aid Israel needs American aid to fight them? Are you f***ing serious? You don't think that there's anything fishy going on here?
שתפו את הסרטון הזה כמה שיותר, כי תקשיבו רגע, אני שירתתי כסמב"צית חי"ר במהלך מלחמת צוק איתן, אני שירתתי באוגדת עזה, כל השירות שלי היה תומכת לחימה בזמן מלחמת צוק איתן שעזה הייתה באוגדת עזה. תקשיבו לי ותקשיבו לי טוב, אין מצב בעולם שיכולה להיות כזאת התקרבות לגדר, אוקיי? מבלי שאנחנו לא נדע מזה. התצפיתניות יושבות בבונקרים 4 שעות, הן לא יכולות לעשות ככה, הן מול מסך. לא יכול להיות מצב שום מצב שהיו מעירים אותי בלילה על יונה, על חסידה שהתקרבה לגדר, על מקק שעבר מתחת לגדר, היו מקפיצים את כל הגזרה. איך נכנסו עם טרקטורים, 400 איש ואף אחד לא שם לב.
Hamas was trapped behind an impregnable, ultra-high-tech, billion-dollar border fence that looks straight out of a zombie movie. So how did they break out? To keep Hamas in Gaza, Israel built what they refer to as the obstacle. The fence is 6 meters high, and under it is
a deep underground concrete wall.
But that's not all. Remote-controlled drones, remote-operated cameras, remote-operated gun turrets with AI-assisted targeting, remote seismographs to detect any digging nearby. It's all wireless, with solar panels and battery backups to save it from power outages. It can be operated from a central location and doesn't need thousands of troops patrolling up and down the border. On top of that, Israel's installed the high-tech Iron Dome missile defence system, which can automatically detect rockets and shoot them out of the sky. So Gaza is surrounded by drones, AI gun turrets, and an expensive high-tech fence. How did Hamas get through all of that? It started at 6:30. Small drones packed with explosives flew out of Gaza. They flew directly to their targets, the mobile internet towers and the observation towers. They dropped explosives on the towers, taking them out. They also dropped explosives on the tanks stationed along the border. Paragliders took off, covered by rocket fire, attacking any troops nearby. Then Hamas militants charged at the fence with bulldozers, explosives, motorbikes and trucks. They were able to drive right up to it and take it down.
Did somebody in the government say stand down? That is a legitimate, non-conspiracy question. So I've been to Israel many times. The whole country is a fortress. I find this very hard to believe. I've been to that Gaza border. You cannot go 10 feet without running into a 19-year-old with an AR-15 or an automatic machine gun that's an IDF soldier. Right, the whole country is surveilled. We don't talk about Israeli politics very often, and most Americans don't know this. The last 9 months, Israel was on the brink of civil war. There were hundreds of thousands of Israelis taking to the streets because Bibi Netanyahu was basically redefining the Israeli constitution. There were protests planned this week against Netanyahu, where they anticipated tens of thousands of people to take to the streets. That's all gone. Netanyahu now has an emergency government and a mandate to leave. I'm not willing to go so far that saying that Netanyahu knew or there was intelligence here, but I think some questions need to be asked. Was there a stand down order? 6 hours? I don't believe it.
I am an Israeli, born and live here since when I was born. I was serving in the army in a certain unit. I know all of the things and all of the narratives that are spoken, especially about that day. And when I came to the conversation, we were talking specifically about that day, the day of the infiltration, what you can call into Israel, basically, through Gaza. We can just briefly speak about that 1 second, because that's something really important for me. What happened on the 7th of October? I just want to explain a little bit the geography of that place. The Gaza Strip is, as we said it before here, a closed place, absolutely closed place, okay? There's no way of going out anywhere. The fence is guarded 24/7, not only by patrolling cars, not only by cameras, not only by a fence that is an electric fence, also by a laser that is activating in alarms. Nobody can cross that fence. Atop that, there is about 6 army bases fully equipped and organized for up to 3 personnel spare time that are around that place. And I can say to you one thing, as a person who lived here, as a person who is very disappointed. I am against the death of people. I'm against the death of the people who has unfortunately lost their lives on both sides. But I just want to say one thing, and I know it's going to make a lot of people upset, especially from my country, but the truth is this: you cannot enter. That's the thing. You cannot enter unless you have help from inside. And I have to be extremely honest, this is what it is, okay? There was help from inside. This operation was not made by Hamas. This operation was an operation that was an excuse in order for a bigger cause. Let's say it this way.